Well, good morning, you guys. It's a early morning. The sun's finally up. I started with my up potting, or not really transplanting, although they are going transplanted from the trays to the cups. But I'm working on my peppers first, and I've already done the Mama Rosa peppers. I've done the Greek pepperoncinis. And then I got to thinking the sun's kind of getting up pretty good now. The camera can probably pick this up. And these are my South Florida bell peppers, which they're just a really large green bell pepper. And they do very well here. They're already acclimated to Florida. It's safe seed. I think it's open pollinated, but I don't know the true name of it. So it's something in the giant, probably family. So I'm doubling these up. In fact, I'm doubling them all up because I'm running out of space on the grow table. And by the time these get, to be a few inches high, they'll be out in the garden. So I can easily just separate them there. They don't need a full cup to themselves. These are Jimmy Nardello's next. So really I don't have to do too much. I'm not even being super gentle. I just get them out of the tray. And I just make a little hole with my fingers. Pop it in and then kind of make sure the seedling is stabilized. This one's going to the side. I don't like that. Okay, there we go. So it's upright and that looks good. Now this Jimmy Nardello, I have just a single left. I only had 3 seedlings of 4 pop up. So there we go. And I'll have to make a tag. Jimmy Nardello is awesome because it's a great frying pepper. And it's sweet, and I really love the flavor on that. Next are the sweet banana peppers. So again, just make little divots. Ooh, pop them in there. The roots will get through. The roots are already right there on the bottom. I think peppers, just from my personal experience, they don't like being in those trays very long. So these were started July 19th. And so it's been just slightly over a month. And as you see, some of them are not liking that right there with being in the tray. They never have. It's not like this is a one-off. This is like a problem I have every time I do peppers. They just won't take off till I put them in the cups. So these are sweet bananas. Tags are so wet. We just had rain this morning. So my garden markers do not want to work in this rain. Well, in humidity, moisture. Let me show you the roots real quick. You see, this one grew right on the edge of the tray. Aren't those beautiful roots right there? Yeah, they're hitting the bottom of the tray and they're stopping with growth. So so we must up pot, otherwise they'll just stunt and stay this stage for, indefinitely, really. Or until they die and you forget to water them or something. So when I go to put them out in the landscape, I do plan on separating them. But when they grow up like this, there's actually not much of a difference that I have seen of where you could just leave like tomatoes, sometimes peppers, together and they will do just fine. I don't really see them doing a lot of stunting because of it. These are now Elma paprikas, which I've been growing the Hungarian paprikas this year, but in years past, Elma paprika, it's a little bit shorter and squattier, a little bit more different colors, but equally delicious as a paprika pepper. And so I just found the extra seed. We're going to put those in. I only had 4 of those. Because I also have the Hungarian paprika going at the same time, I'm probably going to give like one of these away. I hope you don't mind a bit of a low-key video today, but that's just how it goes. Some days are not heavy work. They're just dirty work. Got my dirty, oh, that reminds me. The Dirty Fingernails Club is putting out t-shirts. I need to send money over to the lady who's doing the t-shirts. I don't think I'll be making it to their plant swap. I don't know. I gotta get that date in my head. I might be able to make that. That would be fun. These are Cubanelles. Did I mention that? And I love this pepper, and it does well here, overwintered or just through the spring into summer. And so as you know, well, if you've been with me for a little while, my Cubanelles were doing good this summer. Not great, but surviving. And I forgot to water them when we were in the middle of one of our drier times, and I killed them all. But Cubanelles, oh, we're gonna make tags. Cubanelles are absolutely delicious, and I bought some the other day at the market, and oh my word, I bought red ones, and I wasn't really certain if they were gonna have heat, and I don't think they had heat, and I'm pretty much a baby when it comes to heat, but my husband said, oh, I can taste a little, you know, something special. So well, I wouldn't call it hot, but they do have this amazing just sweetness to them and just great overall pepper flavor. And I stuffed mine with hamburger and rice, and I put in a little pint of my homemade tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce I think it was, and you know, my seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic powder, or something like that. And oh my goodness, these things were almost a foot long. That's how big and beautiful they were. They made, one pepper was my entire meal. Next up are the Lola peppers, and these are essentially just different variety of banana peppers. I'm not so certain. I don't even know what this just says sweet banana, and that's from Totally Tomatoes. And I think this is from Totally Tomatoes too, if I remember right. So I do like to get a lot of my peppers from them, this pepper seed specifically. These are cherry bombs. Well, the hot version is cherry bomb. This is cherry pick. I think that's what the name of this seed pack called it. So these are essentially just little round peppers that usually what you do is you pickle them, and you can add them into your salads. And these are quite prolific, actually. This is more plants than I'm gonna need. So actually, I do have a single. Maybe I should make a couple singles and give those away. That way I'm not overrun with too many. I don't need to be, uh-oh, Buddy Spy Chickens. I don't need to, you know, have so many of these. I don't know what to do with them. And it's always nice to share. So let me make some tags. Again, cherry pick. Oh, I gotta make one more tag. Oh boy, the gnats are awful out here. Okay, and these were also started July 19th. I was noticing in the tray over there that not one of my cayenne, I had two different varieties I found old seed for, and not one of them actually made it, which is such a bummer. I really was wanting, really wanting cayenne, but anyhow, so next, what is that? A piece of stick in my soil. So, well, anyhow, I'll have to order more next time. Make a seed order. This is Hungarian paprika. This is the same one that I was growing earlier, and I made enough paprika to last me a year, but I still want some more because these are too good. And also I would like to save one of these for, you know, seeds. I'd like to reclaim the seeds. And that way I'll have them, you know, for as long as I want. Oh, I don't think I said this. I also didn't get the Friarello di Napoli pepper seeds to germinate. Those were extremely old, probably 2018 or 19. And yeah, they didn't come up. But I love that, as well as the Jimmy Nardello. They're very similar, those two. Okay, I had 3 California Wonders. And I think out of 4, no, probably a little bit more, maybe like 5 or 6 I tried to grow. So that's okay. Again, it was about variety this fall. And in spring and summer, that's when I tend to go about like production for saving back. But fall's really about fresh eating all the way up until, you know, the first frost and summer solstice slows us, or winter solstice slows us down. So these are great. California Wonders I grew this spring, and they did okay. That whole bed in general, I think, just needs amending. I felt like it was lacking in the production it used to give me years ago. So I think I just need to pump up the nutrients there. And of course, brassicas are going in at next, are rotating. So, but I think they would do normally very well for people in Florida. So they're a really good pepper. But I'm also a big fan of that South Florida bell pepper that Jack saved all that seed that year for me on these bell peppers, and he did and he also did the Dr. Wychie and a couple of the other tomatoes, and he did a fabulous job with going with instructions and doing everything he should have, and all that seed has been excellent for a few years now. I see the sun's coming up. All right, let's move on to the next tray. Well, folks, I'm sorry. I apologize. It's going to be full sun from here on out. The sun has popped out over the trees, and there's not a cloud in the sky. So this is also paprika pepper right here, and this is the tray I've been working on so far. Good morning, birds. And this is my saved Elma paprika seed, and I thought for sure, I've tried different packs. I've got all sorts of packs of these saved, and I thought, oh, you know, I just didn't pick them ripe enough, or something didn't go right. And lo and behold, finally, you know, don't ever quit on gardening, because you never know what didn't work this year, or the last 3 years might work this year. This season, whatever, you know, this time of humidity, or this rain might be right this year, or too wrong next year. Watermelons, I mean, that's my 4th time trying watermelons, and oh my goodness, are they just strong and just going wonderfully. Anyhow, so this is more paprika. Again, I've got an overload of paprika, but that is what it is. I'm not hating on that. Now, I don't know if you've been with me in the channel for a while, you've seen, sorry, I'm sweating so bad. You've seen, this is how I get my plants out of the seed starting trays. It's just a knife we found in the side lot when we cleared it, and I call it the murder weapon. I have no idea. I mean, I'm not saying anybody was murdered, but for some reason we found a lot of spoons over there, probably because we also found kids trying to do drugs over there, or at least the buyer and seller. The buyer would come in on one side of the street, and the seller would come in from the other, and they'd meet in the woods. So anyhow, once we decided to clear it, we knew we had to wrap a fence around it to keep people like that out of the food forest. And anyhow, this was just something we found while, you know, the dirt was disturbed, so I call it the murder weapon. But anyhow, it works beautifully for giving me just enough, you know, lift in there to get the seeds out. Now look at that. This really should go right into the ground, but I can't do that right now. I have to even look and see where it's gonna go. And if it's one of these 2 gardens back here, and I think it is, I don't even have those prepared yet. So I'm just gonna pop them in as singles. right here in the in the cups. And then they probably won't stay here very long, but I do have to pop them in as singles. That was Clemson spineless okra. Oh my goodness. I just flung dirt on my face. All right, now we're going to be booking into, well, we had no collards come up, sadly, but I got holy basil, feverfew, and Aunt Molly's ground cherries. You know what? Actually, I can leave those in here just a little bit longer, but I do need to push and get the tomatoes and all the brassicas out as well. So I think I might just leave these babies in here just a tiny bit longer. Just to buy me some more room on the table. Oh my gosh, I got 2 tables going, and I think I'm going to have to pull a third out here to get all these cups up on something. And then we'll probably have a hurricane. Then I got to figure out what to do with them then too. Okay, so these are the Hosinator tomatoes. And yes, that one has been chewed on, but it will recover. First of all, it has roots, good roots. But also, you know, it just needs a little something to make photosynthesis. I would think that slugs or lizards, something came up and ate on these. So that's not good, but it happens. So I'm going to have to make a little tag for that one. But these are Determinate tomatoes from the company Grow Haas, or they used to be called Haas Tools. Either one will work in the search engines if you're looking for seed. And as I just said, they're Determinate, which means that they put all their tomatoes fruit on at one time, and then they ripen at one time, and then you're good to go, and then the plant is done. Now, Indeterminate is the opposite, where it just continually will grow and keep putting fruit on, you know, as it goes up the vine. But anyhow, I wanted to try a lot, well, not a lot. I tried 3 seeds of each of my Determinates for fall, and then I left 7 seeds for spring of each variety. And that way I was hoping that, you know, I'm really, like, again, I'm shooting for production in the spring, where I put up food. But this is for fresh eating right now. This one right here is Dixie Red. This one's a little bit small. They didn't like being in these trays. And I didn't have, I had about 66, that's 2/3, right? Percent germination. Wait, what happened? Oh, there it is. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to where I put that. So Dixie Red. Dixie Red. I know I am doing these singles. I can do doubles too, but since, I don't know, they might be sitting in here a little bit longer. I don't know, I say that, but maybe not. But I was just going to give tomatoes. Now these I could put in. They're both pretty tiny. The tomatoes over there in the next tray will probably be singles, because those are already pretty big. This is Red Snapper. Oh, again, Dixie Red, Red Snapper, Hosinator, all Determinate tomato varieties. Now, I'm very sad about the Florida 91 right here. Also Determinate. I only had 1 of 3 seeds pop up. Doesn't even look very good. So, I mean, you're supposed to be representing Florida over here, and you're not hardly doing anything. It's very sad. Okay, I think we're done. Oh, should I do, maybe I should just do those Aunt Molly's ground cherries right there. Yeah, I'm gonna leave these little ones, but these bigger ones are ready to come out. These 2. Let's do that. I love ground cherries. They are sweet. They do have slight tomato taste, but oh boy, like if you get them at peak ripeness, they will have a bit of a sweet fruit flavor to their tomato flavor. So delicious. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see that. Where am I going to put you? Will that work? Okay. Let's see, my tags should be dried out. Again, these tomatoes and ground cherries were also started July 19th. All in the same tray, yep. Okay, let's move on to, I'm going to leave this, zinnias are going to go right into the ground. And I need to because they're getting awfully leggy. They're not happy, and look, some of them have died just from living in the tray too long. Ugh, that's a robin error, not a seed error. Okay, now we've moved into the Indeterminate tomatoes. This one happens to be a hybrid, but I also have some heirlooms, which means that you can save those seeds. Hybrids is a mixing of different genetics. So this is the first generation after the crossing of different parents. And that's how they get this Chef's Choice bicolor. And this is one of those Indeterminates. So if I can, it would be important, you know, if I can, to save this seed, not save this seed, save these plants if I get light frost. So I will put emphasis on keeping all these together and covering them very well for overwintering. And then hopefully we have a really nice bunch of heirlooms as well, or not just heirlooms, but indeterminates for spring. Sorry, I can't think and talk. I'm trying to do this podcast style, but I have a hard time talking and expressing everything I want to while working at the same time. While I'm making the markers and garden tags, I wanted to tell you that, so this is my version of, it's not really, but, oh, see, again, I can't do it. I don't do regenerative farming where you try to keep plastics out, but I do try to repurpose everything and get like season after season after season use. These are red Solo cups that I had to bring out because I ran out of I had these brown cups for years, and then I bought an extra pack a year or two ago, ran out of those, and so I already had these in the cabinet, and they'd been up there since my son's wedding, like 7 years ago. And so I poked holes in the bottom of all these. They have a way for water to escape. So that's, I'm just repurposing them, you know. Next up is the Jet Star, and I want to apologize. This one I'm not going to use. It's Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, and everybody's mowing their grass. And I heard a chainsaw too, so I apologize for that. So anyhow, about the Jet Star, this is, I believe this is a hybrid. I don't know, I'll have to put it down below. I don't remember much about the statistics of it. I feel like it's a hybrid Indeterminate, but I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll put it down below. I always learn when I go through and I make comments like this, and I then force myself while editing to look up the actual answers. And then I learn. These are Brandywine, and these are heirloom, and they do have sort of a reddish colored flesh and skin. Hold on. I got two of them in here, I just realized. So these are super delicious, and these are super precious to me. These are the last of my Brandywine seed that came from a packet. I think I have saved Brandywine, like that I saved, but I will be sure to try to save some of these when I get some ripe fruit. These are, to me, what makes the best tomato sandwich, not just a plain red tomato. These Brandywines are like the Michelin star tomato for me. Absolutely love them. And I can't believe this seed packet was actually very old, but it's been kept in a refrigerator, and I had 100% germination out of them. Oh, here comes that chainsaw. I think I'm going to need some more dirt in here. Speaking of which, I've only used about a 1 cubic bag's worth of dirt so far. Here, I got to put some more dirt around those roots. There we go. So how many do we have of that? Oh, I got to make a lot of tags. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I had 12 of 12 seeds germinate. Wow. That was amazing. An old seed. And I'll probably give away 1 or 2, but I'm going to keep, for the most part, all of these. I love these. I forgot to mention that this seed tray was started a little bit later. This was started July 27th of this year. I'm not sure if I gave you the stats. So they're heirloom, open pollinated, and indeterminate as far as I remember for the Brandywine. So you can save your seeds on these. I had this mystery seed on the table as I was seeding these back in July, and you know what? Now that I'm seeing the leaves of this is a Brandywine. I'm near 100% certain this is the same as my other Brandywine leaves. And oh boy, it's so much happier. I think because the others were kind of duplicated, I might have dropped like 2 seeds per cell. And this one was a single. And look at the difference. It was stimulated by the, well, these were not stimulated because they communicate and say, hey, stay small, we got to preserve space. And this one was just like, let's go for it. So I think that's a Brandywine, which is pretty cool. Okay, next we're going to be on to green vernissage, but I got to fill more cups. Okay, so actually I had a couple cups left for these 2 purple Russians. These are heirlooms that I remember, Indeterminate, open pollinated. Save the seed on these if you got them. And I grew these, I think back in 2019, when the first year that I opened up Salsa Garden and created it. And I had a lot of heirlooms in there, and I barely got going. I was still kind of like, I knew the seasons, but I didn't back it up far enough. And so anyhow, I think I can do better, and I could have done better. And so these purple Russians, I'm hoping to get some fruit out of them, and then that way I'm also hoping to save some of their seed. All right, these are green vernissage, and these are really big. So I am gonna put just singles in the cup. This is an heirloom to the best of my knowledge. If I quote anything wrong, I'll put it down below. These are open pollinated, heirloom, indeterminate, and these are more like a small tomato, like a salad, you know, larger than a grape, but smaller than like a sandwich tomato. So these are sort of in the middle there. And these grow really well. They're very prolific. It's, again, actually I think I last grew these like in 17 or 18, and that's how old this seed is, and it's done really well. Look at how tall and long it is. And sorry for reaching in front of the camera, but so the only thing I don't love about this is it doesn't store well, and if you have a deluge of rain, the skin is very thin, and so therefore it rips. So you gotta catch it and eat it fast off the vine. That sounds funny. Don't catch it, okay? It's not gonna run away from you. But I'm just saying, like, catch it at peak perfection on the vine and then plan to eat it that day. And if you're gonna have a big hurricane and you've got already fruit set, or you're going to have like a spring rain or something like that, you're going to want to pick your fruit and let it finish on the windowsill or something like that, because these things will split. As far as I remember, the skin was thin, but really good, delicious. Anything heirloom really is going to be delicious. Okay, you guys, so we accomplished most of the goal, but I'm getting really hungry. I'm running out of space, maybe a little bit of patience. And we'll come back and we'll finish the Brad's Atomic grapes here, and then all the kale. This is Nero de Toscana kale. This is Bell Star broccoli, stonehead cabbage, Savoy King cabbage, and snowball cauliflower. That has to be, maybe I'll do that this evening. I don't know. I am running out of time and I have to go shopping. We have a birthday party this weekend for my one son is turning 25. So anyhow, that is a really good start. I've got 1, 2, 3 trays, and well, 1, 2, 3, 4 trays done during the course of this video, and then we'll come back and we'll do another video and I'll talk you through all the different varieties and interesting things about the brassicas and then the atomic grapes. And I do actually have a little bit of lettuce in here. This lettuce is doing amazing considering our nights are still like at 77 to 80 degrees and the days are scorching hot. But this butterhead lettuce is doing great. Really needs to go out in the garden. I'm almost ready to start transplanting out there. So with that being said, you guys take care, God bless, and I will see you in the next video where we do a little bit more up potting and me kind of podcast talking about the different varieties I'm growing in the yard. All right, bye-bye.